Recently at a local nursery we picked up a small tree to plant in the front yard, and they had some cut-offs that were just laying there. I asked the fellow what they were for, and he said, oh, anybody who wants it, they could use it for firewood. I had no idea what kind of wood it was, but when I saw this end grain, I wanted it. And I find out it's sumac. Now I'm going to turn just a regular bowl, not a natural edge. And the reason is, this layer right here is, they actually make glue from it. It's very rubbery. It was actually, when I picked it up, maybe because it was in the heat, it was oozing out of there, and it was oozing out of the center. So I've cut it in half. I'm going to do this blank, and I don't know, the bark feels quite secure, but there's a layer of, essentially it feels like rubber. And I don't want to take a chance on making a natural edge with that. So I went ahead and cut the corners off of this, and in the process of doing that I realized that I did not want to try to turn the bark away from this. I put a chisel in there and this whole thing popped off, and this is what they use to boil down and make some sort of a glue. Well, that is soft, and it would make a really nice mess that I don't need. You can actually see that looks like white glue right there, and it is very sticky, and it's like pitch. Now I got to go clean my hands off because this doesn't feel good. Okay, I'm back. I think I got most everything off. It runs pretty good at 700. Beautiful wood. Beautiful. Well, I'll change that bottom down a little smaller diameter. See how much of this gets cleaned up. 1200 RPM. How about that? How about that? Oh man. Unreal. That is just spectacular. Well, I'm gonna work on this top and see what happens there. Okay, I'm going to square the top off. So I'm going to clean this up, have a look at it. I'm going to get a tenon down here. Okay, let's work on the bottom. Take a little bit more off. Boy, look at this. It's showing right up on the bottom too. Wow. I'm just amazed. I did take the biggest pieces they had. Otherwise, I probably would have taken more. In the center of this, because I chainsawed it in half, the center of it was probably almost 1.5 inches, and it was full of all that gooey substance. It has to be some kind of a pitch, but I've never seen anything leak out of a log like that. It's just almost pouring out. Okay, I'm going to finish sizing the tenon and then get it turned around. That should do it. I want to leave it a little big because I'm not sure how this is going to dry, and it might end up warping, and I may have to return it round. So let me get it flipped around. I'm going to leave the tailstock up there for a while, at least until I get this flattened. It's not really flattened all that well, and it'll be bouncing a little bit, and I don't want to do it without the support here. I could go 1500 RPMs here if I wanted. It's probably time to get the tailstock out of the way. Alright. Maintaining that color throughout, I don't see why it would disappear. But I do know that the thicker that I leave this wall, the more of this color I am going to have on the inside. So that's a consideration. That's pretty close. We'll be back to this one. I don't know when, but I will get back to it. I'm going to true up the tenon because it looks like it did warp a little bit in that tenon run true. It's actually running pretty good, about 860. Get a gouge over here. We'll see how this cuts. Well, it cuts real nice. So let's see how that runs. It runs very true. So before I do anything on the outside, I want to see what's going on here. So pretty much I had very little warp in this. Not much of a shape here, but this is all about the grain. Let's go ahead and flatten the top. that is almost gone. And I will have to cut some more off the top. But yeah, I've got a nice little radius on there I like. Alright, that pretty much got it. Okay, I'll get the tailstock out of the way and we'll go in here and finish hollowing it out. But before I make this any thinner here, I will sand the outside. So pull this out of the way. Alright, let's go ahead and start out with the 80 grit here. Yeah, I think that's going to work fine, but I'm going to finish this off camera. Time to cut the inside, get it down to a decent wall thickness, and getting close to being done with this one. I'm looking forward to getting some finish on this wood. I know when it was wet it was just gorgeous, and I'm expecting that it is going to be that way with the finish. Running nice and true. See how it cuts out 1100. Alright, the bottom's just about where I want it, so all I'll do there is clean this up and call that good, but I'm going to thin this wall up just a little bit. Outside's got a nice shape. That's pretty even. It's around 5/16. I think this wood is so light that I'm going to stop here just so it feels like it has a little bit of heft to it. Alright, I'm going to get my negative rake scraper and see about cleaning the inside up. Here I sand the inside of the bowl up to 400 grit. I have this bowl all sanded up. It's easy sanding, but it's very porous wood, especially along in this dark area. This is extremely porous grain, so it took a lot of sanding to get it where I think I'll like it. I'm not sure until I put a finish on it. And it's so porous, I'm not sure what I want to use for a finish, because I know this is going to be beautiful wood. So I've been doing some thinking on this bowl, and it is very porous. I just cleaned it off with alcohol and it soaked it in. You could hardly tell it was on there, but I wanted to get any dust off of there. I'm going to go ahead and try wipe-on poly. I haven't used that for a number of months. And I do my own. I use a polyurethane and thin it with mineral spirits, about 2 to 1, I would say. 2 parts of the poly. I think it'll get down in the grain and pretty much seal it up where it's not going to keep soaking it. I don't know, I've just committed myself to it, so that's what I'm going to use. And I think it's going to make it really pretty. I can see that already. That's really going to be nice. I'll get a coat on the outside, and then it's a matter of letting that set and see how many coats of this it takes. May end up taking like 5. Might have to wipe it on about 5 times the way it's soaking it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back when it's finished. We'll cut the tenon off. Alright, it's time to take this tenon off the bottom. Got my non-slip cloth. Bring the tailstock up to the center. And I tighten it up a little bit to where I don't think it's going to slip. And the bottom right now is about 1/4 of an inch, so I should be just fine. Make sure I got a little concave in it. Let's see how that runs. Well, that's not bad. Good enough. I'll start with my little 3/8 bowl gouge. Alright, change tools again. A 3/8 spindle gouge. That's far enough. I'm going to slow this down. A couple hundred RPMs. Push against the base with the bevel. And hold my hand on the stop button. And as Phil says, when that little piece stops turning, you're through. There it's going. That's it right there. So it's gone. It looks alright. I'll sand this out, get some finish on it, and it'll be done. Here is the finished bowl that I made from a piece of sumac. After looking into this wood, I've discovered that it's referred to as Staghorn Sumac. I guess it grows pretty common around here in Oregon, but I've never heard of it. But I'm sure happy that I found it at the tree nursery where I got it. It was a great price, free. I think that the wood is very, very exotic looking. It reminds me of a really fancy, expensive hardwood. Although it's far from hard, it's extremely soft. It turns alright. It does tear out, but it sands easily. And I was able to achieve a decent finish on it. I used wipe-on poly that I mix up. I thin it down so it dries pretty fast, so I can get a coat on and maybe even an hour later it's ready to put another one on. Then I used the abrasive paste on it that I make, and also the polishing paste, and it brings a nice shine to it. It's not overly shiny, but I think it highlights the grain quite well. It finished 7 3/4 in diameter and 2 3/4 tall, and the base is around 4 inches. Now the base doesn't have that same shine on it, because once I get a nice finish on here, a lot of times I use the Howard feed and wax on the bottom. I just don't like to take a chance on letting something drip over here that I've already got nice and finished, and I think the Howards look nice on there anyways. So that's it. Let's see, I think this is, well, that might be my favorite view there. All of them are. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the process of the making of this bowl. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, I'll see you later.